Juvenes non somos, los males cambio totem, los males absent totem, los apellidos, los apellidos. Viva academia, viva profesores, viva academia, viva profesores, viva membran qualitate, viva membran qualitate, sempre siete flore, sempre siete flore, viva academia, viva profesores, viva academia, viva profesores, viva membran qualitate, viva membran qualitate, sempre siete flore, sempre siete flore, viva academia, viva profesores, viva academia, viva profesores, viva membran qualitate, viva membran qualitate, sempre siete flore, sempre siete flore.
By virtue of the powers vested in me as the acting chancellor of the University of Zululand, I hereby consecute this congregation for the conferment of degrees and awarding of diplomas and certificates. You may be seated.
Chancellor, Chief Justice Raymond Mnyameze Lizondo in absentia, Chairperson of Council, Ms. Noma Rashia Taluza in absentia, the Deputy Chairperson of University Council, Dr. Andrew Kaniki in absentia, our acting Chancellor, Professor Xolisa Mtose, members of Council, President of Convocation, Mr. Nkwanyana in absentia, Chair of the Institutional Forum, Professor Hreiling, members of Executive and Extended Management, members of Senate, all university staff members, members of the Convocation and alumni, a representative from the Mkwanazi Traditional Authority, chiefs of the local traditional authority, mayors of the district and local municipalities, the SRC president, Mr. Siamkela Kumalo, business partners, donors, and sponsors, the student body at large, parents, guardians, and relatives of our graduates, and most importantly, our graduates, Acting Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to acknowledge the presence of our special guest amongst us, Professor Masocha. And I would also like to acknowledge the presence of our guest speaker, Ms. Elaine Brass. Good afternoon. Goeiemiddag. Sanbonani, Molweni, Dumelang, Jambo. Asante sana. On behalf of the Vice Chancellor and Principal of the University of Zululand, Professor Mtose, it is with a sense of profound collective triumph that I welcome you to the sixth of a series of the 2023 graduation ceremonies that are lined up to take place this week. These occasions have become an annual ritual where all of us, graduates, parents, guardians, sponsors, society at large, as well as university staff, commemorate the pinnacle of the work we have done over the years. Beyond the festivities, a graduation ceremony must be seen as a moment of deep reflection. It symbolizes a bridge we cross in a lifelong journey of human progress, from basic and foundational knowledge encountered and acquired during the first time we interact at the chalk floor, to the attainment of higher order knowledge, skills, and competencies that equip us with capabilities for making a difference in society. In this sense, the awarding or conferment of a qualification is not an end in itself. It is an impetus for lifelong learning that should spew out new imaginations for the development of better life for all, free from the shackles of poverty, inequality, and other forms of human strife. Indeed, the ideas of creating a better life for all are implied in the debates about the purpose of university education. At the University of Zululand, we subscribe to a perspective which advocates and promotes a form of education that produces and disseminates knowledge and competencies which enable graduates to engage in meaningful and productive work aimed at enhancing the livelihoods of the people or the community at large. In this connection, we draw insights from thinkers such as Frantz Fanon, who advocate for that as follows, I quote, "What matters is not to know the world, but to change it." Fanon goes on to say, "In the world through which I travel, I am endlessly creating myself." End of quote. The purpose of university education, driven by such thinking, manifests at three levels of society, that is the macro, the meso, and the micro. At the macro or wider societal level, one of the main implications to derive from Fanon's words of wisdom is that the number and quality of graduates that exit universities must constitute the building blocks and catalysts to be deployed for the development of a learning society or a society that learns. Scholars like Han have described a learning society as follows, I quote, "A model society in which the collective learning process is prevalent, equipped with competency to solve the problems inside by itself through consistent emergent evolution and learning," close quotes. Striving to achieve the status of a learning society is commended as a game changer in the transformation of a given political economy and the attainment of sustainable development. We therefore must look up to our graduates to become the promoters for the creation of a learning South African society. The melting pot for all this is at university or meso level. At Unizulu, we have embraced the responsibility to build a learning institution, one where continuous learning is used to transcend stifling preoccupation with survival demands and setting the organization onto a higher order service-oriented growth. The history of Unizulu attests to a trajectory that has seen the institution emerge from the proverbial edge of an abyss, poised between failure and success, and evolving to become a rekindled university that is being set onto a path of reinvention anchored on an unexcelled Vision 27 under the mantra of building Unizulu as a node for African thought. Launched in November 2022, we can appreciate the significance of the idea of African thought when we juxtapose it with Western thought or worldview. We can recall that in recent years, South African universities had to deal with the #students campaigns, which called for a decolonized university curriculum, describing the current curricula as Western-oriented and alienating, and citing, among other things, the use of Western-based literature to support learning. The students' movement also resonated with a growing body of contemporary academic intellectual currents that have characterized the curriculum of African universities as one of the main mechanisms by which colonial power continues to be exercised in ways that sustain the oppressive world order. Much like what Steve Biko observed, that, I quote, "The most potent weapon of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed," close quotes. Put differently, by continuing to subject students to a curriculum aligned to the oppressor, the colonizer achieves compliance through mental control, or the way people think. Such a state of affairs is not only dehumanizing, it also clearly shows a purpose of education that is in dissonance with the objective needs and interests of our people. The Unizulu Vision 27 envisages a nuanced understanding of the purpose of university education. It goes beyond a narrow conception of education, which produces employable but dehumanized human capital, to one that encompasses emancipatory and liberative functions. In other words, while university education can be used for subjugation, at Unizulu, we keenly subscribe to the view that it also plays an important, preeminent role in the development of public consciousness, in the generation of new knowledge and competencies that are necessary for meaningful functioning in a complex and ever-changing modern society. Inside the melting pot of universities are individual students who, in the final analysis, constitute the locus of investment in the decolonization and transformation efforts. It is at this micro level that transformative learning takes place and gets aggregated at societal level. In this connection, Unizulu has continuously paid attention to the enhancement of graduate attributes or graduateness. Our motivation has been to help students acquire a set of personal qualities, competencies, and values over and above the cognitive skills of their disciplines. Cultivating graduateness includes the development of certain attitudes and orientations towards the labor market, self-development, and responsible citizenship. The purpose here is to strike a balance between education for the marketplace and education for good citizenship, so that by the time a student exits university, he or she is a rounded individual. By allowing a student to graduate, this university is therefore making a powerful statement about the individual's readiness to take up his or her rightful place as a productive citizen in an increasingly complex and unpredictable world. It is a world in which, on the one hand, a graduate has to grapple with challenges of correcting the past by participating in the recalibration of development in terms of local indigenous populations in a way that reestablishes their dignity and self-determination. And on the other hand, championing in an inclusive way the so-called smart approaches to development in the context of the fourth industrial revolution, digital and technological advances. There is no option to ignore or even choose to prioritize these imperatives of modern South African life, as they have become embedded in the purpose of university education. Acting Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, I am very pleased to inform you that in 2023, we are graduating a total of 3,542 students, 3,128 of which are undergraduates, 289 honors, 77 masters, and 48 doctorates. The quality of the graduates we produce is as important as the number that successfully meet the requirements of their qualifications. In this respect, the purpose of university education is to achieve equity of student success. Unizulu, as a so-called historically disadvantaged institution that is an HDI, has made huge strides towards flattening the statistical curve that was showing severe underperformance of the underprivileged students who constitute most of our student population. Our strategy of making student success the driving force of our teaching and learning practices is showing good results. In one of his books, The Pedagogy of the Heart, a well-known Brazilian educationist, Paulo Freire, wrote thus, I quote, "I recognize the obstacles, but I refuse to resign in silence," close quotes. This statement captures the spirit with which we are overcoming impediments to achieving equity of student success. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity to invite you, the graduates, to join the University of Zululand Convocation. This is a statutory body of which you automatically become a member by virtue of obtaining a qualification from this university. The convocation elects members to university structures and through its affiliated alumni associations. It supports the work of the university in many other ways. We hope that as an alumnus, you'll be able to contribute to the success of this university in a number of ways. We're also confident that the success you are celebrating today will energize you to actively ensure that your alma mater continues to soar to greater heights of excellence. Once again, a very warm welcome, and we wish you a meaningful and productive life after university. I thank you, Enkosi Kialibuka, Asante Sana, Bayadanki. Now, Acting Chancellor, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Ms. Elaine Brass. I'll briefly go through her biography. Elaine Brass is a chartered accountant of South Africa, and she's the CEO of the Health and Welfare Sector. She joined the chartered accountant. She became a chartered accountant of South Africa since 1999 after completing articles at Deloitte. After her articles, she remained on as assurance audit manager for 2 years until joining the Auditor General of South Africa in March 2003. Ms. Elaine's passion for the public sector then flourished, and she later joined the Health and Welfare Sector in December 2007 as Chief Financial Officer, that is CFO, a position she held within the organization for over 10 years. Ms. Elaine Brass was appointed as Acting Chief Executive Officer of the HWSETA and appointed as the HWSETA Chief Executive Office, that is CEO, on the 1st of January 2019 through a gazetted process approved by Cabinet of Parliament. I'm also pleased to indicate to you, ladies and gentlemen, that as Unizulu, we really appreciate the financial support that is granted by HWSETA through Ms. Brass. Acting Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, will you please join me in welcoming our guest speaker, Ms. Brass, to deliver her speech. Thank you.
Sawubona, Unjani. It's wonderful to be here. A bit hot, as you know, but that is just the way it is. But it really is such an honor. Let me acknowledge, first of all, the acting chancellor, the registrar, the vice chancellors and acting vice chancellors, professors, directors, executive directors, deans, professors, parents, ladies and gentlemen, and most important today, our graduates. A graduation signifies victory, success, and opportunity, hope for a better future. That is why I love coming to graduations, because for the HWSETA, it's not only your success and the success of the university, but ours too. Let me upfront congratulate you all for an achievement indeed. You have traveled a journey that I'm sure has had its ups and downs. You have overcome challenges to be here, perhaps significant challenges, but you are here. sitting there in the auditorium today in your lovely graduation gowns. Wow. What a moment to remember forever. You have made it. But remember, this is not the end. It is only the beginning. It is self-evident that our society is facing a substantial amount of social and psychological issues. Some of these have unfortunately been taken for granted, and as social service professionals today, we need to identify these issues and address them in a quest to make our society better and build a prosperous nation. The baton has been passed to us, and we need to act immediately so that the next generation is better than us. As new graduates, you are in a perfect position to implement the new knowledge you have gained, but also take what is good from those already in the field and implement it. As a health and welfare seater, our role is to support you as professionals, as well as your esteemed university, in making a difference in our communities. We look forward to one day reading books, journal articles, newspaper reports with stories such as Ntombi, a graduate from the University of Zululand, came and changed our community today, and we are better for that professional. As you are aware, formal employment opportunities are definitely there, and you have done yourself a favor by getting a diploma, an undergraduate degree, or a postgraduate degree, because that increases your chances of employment. But the time has come to expand our opportunity for income generation by also looking at self-employment. The HWCT is prepared to open these opportunities to you so that you can make an immediate difference in your communities. Funding is available in our different funding windows, and we are there to support you in various ways. Generation and support of social capital is the primary goal of social service professionals, you. As the HWCTA, we are positioned to support you in this quest. The HWCTA supports an integrated approach to skilling our sector, giving them the capabilities to build the social capital. Our new strategic direction as an HWCTA is to assist social service professionals to be self-sustainable, self-reliant, and self-employed, addressing immediate community problems using our capabilities and infusing these with social capital and capabilities of communities is the cornerstone of this approach. I hope you have heard of the term social entrepreneurship. It might have come to you as a technical term with its pros and with its cons. In 2022, the HWCTA board resolved to take this form of entrepreneurship and translate it into practice in the health and social development sectors. This was in response to the limited resources to absorb social service professionals into government service, as well as the dwindling donor funding in the sector. The HWCTA wants to support all graduates through the university that want to join the HWCTA in addressing social issues through social entrepreneurship program. The invitation to this graduation today came at exactly the right time. It was as if the Vice Chancellor and your professors were reading our minds as we were looking for a launch pad of the social entrepreneurship program. We believe we have found one with the University of Zululand's 2023 cohort of social work graduates, you. To make a difference, we need the university to assist us by forming a small unit of social entrepreneurship that will manage this project on our behalf. The logistics and details will be discussed in further meetings with the operational staff and the HWCTA. Once this is done, graduates must group themselves into about 4 or 5 professions from different disciplines and identify an area with the greatest need for your skills. In this instance, the HWCTA, in conjunction with the Department of Social Development, as well as district municipalities, will assist with this identification. So picture this: a team of social workers, a psychologist, an administration graduate, a finance graduate, social auxiliary worker, a child and youth care worker. This team will be assisted by the university to register an entity, and the HWCTA will provide certain financial assistance. We will also fund you with the following skills that you will need, such as, for example, first aid training, entrepreneurship training, disability inclusion courses, learners and drivers licenses, mentorship courses, fundraising skills. This team will offer its services to the communities, including mental health assistance, social assistance, child and youth care, rehabilitation services, support to schools, support to cooperatives and other community-based organizations, as well as all other services that you have been exposed to throughout your training. How exciting! And it can be done. Help us provide professional services to communities and those who need them. And in the same manner, provide income generation for yourselves. This is building a healthier nation. So let us think differently. Only when we think differently and open ourselves up to new ways will we learn to grow. The HWCTA once again wishes you a heartfelt congratulations and well done. With passion for your profession, a heart to make people whole again, hard work, resilience, and dedication, success will surely follow. Thank you.
Il mondo gira con me questa notte, piccoli passi che faccio io con te. Se tu lo cuore seguo la luna, qualcosa mostri, qualcosa no. Il mondo gira con noi questa notte.
Acting Chancellor, andikwazi uzibamba. I just want to say wow to our choir. Let's say wow. You. Thank you so much. Those sweet voices, sweet melodies. Unizulu has talent. Thank you. Acting Chancellor, honored guests, I shall now proceed with conferring degrees and award diplomas and certificates. I request the candidates to take up their positions, please. And I will call upon the Acting Dean of the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, Professor Shokane, to present the candidates for various degrees and diplomas. Acting Chancellor, I now have the honor to request the Acting Dean of the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences to present the graduates to you. Thank you.
Acting Chancellor, I request you to confer postgraduate degrees to the candidates as well as those persons in absentia whose names appear in the program.
Confer the degree of postgraduate studies on candidates whose names appear on the program as requested.
Acting Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Doctor of Philosophy degree candidates.
I confer the degree of Doctor of Philosophy on candidates whose names appear on the program.
Mark Ovukeri Obinaga. The title of his dissertation, his thesis is Protest in the Poetry of Dennis Brutus and Ogaga Ifowoda. The candidate was supervised by Professor C.A. Addison and co-supervised by Dr. A. Apume. I'll request the co-supervisor to come and read the citation.
The study examines how the poetry of Dennis Brutus of South Africa and Ogaga Ifowodo from the Niger Delta region of Nigeria has embodied protest literature by fostering the political and social struggles of their times. The study discovers parallels in the works of these two poets, despite the distance between them in region and period. It offers fresh insights into the notion of protest literature in different societies. This is achieved through a post-colonial and analytical evaluation of selected works by both poets. Brutus began to protest against apartheid in the late 1950s and continued until the mid-1990s, while Ifowodo started his protest against the military injection into politics in the late 1980s and continues today. The study examines the works of these poets not only critically, but also in light of the different socio-political and historical conditions which engendered them. A deepened knowledge of post-colonial poetry in the related literature shows that protest is the meeting point between these two important post-colonial regions, namely South Africa and Nigeria. The study reads the key prison poetry of the two poets in dialogue, as several aspects of their struggle with solitude and other types of suffering offer insights into each other that have not been observed before. Furthermore, their versification and responses to the people's plight through poetry demonstrate many parallel themes concerning the oppression, deprivation, and unjust arrest and detention that people experienced in the apartheid era, as well as in recent times in the Niger Delta region of Nigeria. This work, apart from undertaking a comprehensive study of the poetry of Brutus and Ifowodo from an analytical point of view, has also been instrumental in contributing robustly to the ongoing discourse on post-colonial literature in Africa. One article from the thesis has been published in an internationally accredited journal, while another has been accepted for publication later in 2023. The study was examined by Professor Okuyade from Niger Delta University in Nigeria, Professor Abubakar from Cairo University in Egypt, and Dr. Nichols from the University of Leeds in the UK.
Acting Chancellor, I present Mark Ovukeri Obinaka for the Doctor of Philosophy.
Yes, Dr. Obinaka. Congratulations. Congratulations, Dr. Obinaka. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dr. Obinaka. There you go. There you go, sir. Well done.
Non-Domiso Fortunate Bemede. Her thesis is entitled Investigating the Socio-Economic Development Impact of African Migrant Informal Enterprises in Mandeni Municipality, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. The candidate was supervised by Professor Moyo, and I'll request the supervisor to read the citation.
This study examined the socio-economic development impact of informal enterprises of African migrants in Mandeni local municipality, KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. The study adopted an interpretivist paradigm and established that African migrant informal enterprises contributed to socio-economic development in Mandeni through job creation, revenue generation, the supply of various goods and services, and growth of business activity. In this way, this study contributes to the discipline of geography in general and migration studies. The novelty of this study is its illumination of the fact that small towns such as Mandeni are also choice destinations for migrants, just as big cities. This foregrounds the importance of small towns and the need for appropriate attention to be paid to them in migration studies in the context of human geography. Professor Samuel Olorontoba declared that the candidate demonstrated expertise and specialist knowledge through the appropriate use of relevant theories and methodology, while Prof. H. Makitimisa hailed the thesis in the context of scholarly inputs to help navigate the challenges posed by migration. The thesis can be revised and published as a book, and part of it can be published as journal articles. The future research issues identified by the candidate show a clear research agenda that the candidate can undertake during the postdoctoral study.
Acting Chancellor, I present Nondumiso Fortunate Gumede for Doctor of Philosophy.
Congratulations, Dr. Gumede. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dr. Gumede.
Acting Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Master of Arts degree candidates.
I confer the degree of Master of Arts on candidates whose names appear on the program.
It's okay, I read the names. Oh, okay. Yes. Buhle Adorable Lunika. Nozuko Metula. Mawande Mkize.
This one does not have a hood. So it's like, that's the way.
Pearl Nokuphila Mthethwa. Makhosazana Nokwanda Amingo Sithole. Acting Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you Bachelor of Arts Honours.
I confer the degree of Bachelor of Arts Honors in various fields of study on candidates whose names appear on the program.
Melly Lloyd Kenisa. Snenhlanhla Zamanganga Mshozi. Siphesihle sibonga konke Mhlamvu. Nomvelo Xolile Mlambo. Simo Mzamo Sicelo Mthembu. Asanda Bridget Tusini. Tembeka Nokubongwa Xulu. Nothando Nokwanda Makhanya. Sthembiso Gcinani Mtshali. Sizwe Lucas Nzuza, Nokuthula Sibisi, Samgelisiwe Yoliswa Mabaso, Malejo Precious Malugana, Fisokuhle Mbambo, Nomfundiso Mbewu, Sesethu Kumbesi, Anele Shabalala, Khanyisa Twani, Nosipho Simpiwe Queeneth Biela, Sabathile Vuyiswa Cele, Siseko Kwethemba Duma, Sandekile Sibahle Khanye, Noluthando Ayanda Malakwane, Ayanda Mpanza, Sikhulile Ngubane, Nomvelo Masibonge Ntuli,
Acting Chancellor, I request you to confer the degrees, awards, diplomas, and certificates to the candidates as well as those persons in absentia whose names appear in the program.
I confer the degree and awards, diplomas, and certificates to candidates whose names appear on the program, as requested. Yeah.
Bachelor of Arts,
I confer the degree of Bachelor of Arts in various fields of study on candidates whose names appear on the program.
Mavis Kanyangala Banda. Sfundo Tembile Biela. Smile. Andile Lwazi Buthelezi. Luyanda Buthelezi. Sinokuhle Buthelezi. Andile Sinothando Tumbi. Sinenhlanhla Sinalo Dumakude. Sandile Gazu. Nontobeko Thobeka Kumete. Ngamsile Samantha Hlatshwayo. Asanda Sanelisiwe Hlophe. Sanelisiwe Sibahle Hlophe. Nothando Wendy Khoza. Smile. Smile. Fikiswa Vuyisile Lembethe. Minenhle Phindile Maduna. Anele Magaba. Andiswa Sinenjabulo Chantel Magwaza. Sipho sethu, Gugulethu, Melokuhle Maishi. Asanda Mildred Makanya. Nonhlanhla Dombiningi Baphindile Masuku. Noluthando Philisiwe Mbanjwa. Nobuhle Nkosingiphile Mbatha. Banele Lwazi Ndluli. Tabani Ntokozo Mhlongo. Nelisiwe Mkhize. Sibonelo Christian Mkhize. Zikhona Ayabonga Nokuthula Mkhize. Tutukani Hopewell Mlaba. Andiswa Precious Molise. Sibusisiwe Mpangela. Msizi Mthokozise Mpungose. Nomcebo Nomvula Mthembu. Musa Braveman Mthethwa. Olwethu Mthethwa. Mthethwa. You must go to the VC before you go there. Go to the VC before you go there. With me after here. Nonduduzo Amanda Mungwe. To the VC. Thembinkosi Ntokozo Mvubu. Thembeka Mzimela.
That box. And face the front.
Bekezela Sithembokuhle Ncube. Ngamsile Ndimande. Andile Andiswa Ndlandla. Zinhle Ndlangamandla.
Lungile Pearl Ndlovu. Lungiswa Ngobo. Nelisiwe Ngubane. Khanyisile Promise Ngwane. Sithembile Lindelwa Njapha. Sinethemba Noxolo Nkosi. Nothando Ntombela. Spesihle Melokuhle Ntshangase. Siphephile Portia Ntuli. Simangele Don Nxasane. Nompumelelo Ignatia Qwabe. Hlengiwe Maureen Shongwe. Phumzile Sibiya. William Sithole. Samgelisiwe Zinhle Thwala. Nonhlanhla Vilakazi. Zama Afrika Nombulelo Yeni. Mongeka Angel Oliswa Zondi. Anele Nokulunga Zulu. Nokwazi Zuma.
Nokwanda Anele Zungu.
I confer the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Correctional Studies on candidates whose names appear on the program.
Nokwanda Biela. Bongekile Tulisile. Bongekile Tulisile Danisa. Luyanda Zwetula. Zwetula Luyanda Dlamini. Tabisile Snoti Dubazan. Kulekani Fezeka Gumede. Tabani Lindokuhle Gumede. Nonkazimulo Gumede. Mlondi Hlabe. Sinothando Jali. Ntando Khoza. Vusumuzi Khoza. You can. Buhle Maphumulo. Sanele Thandazile Mathenjwa. Siyabonga Spokuhle Mathenjwa. Luthando Makhola. Ayanda Nonsikelelo Mbatha. Smile. Nhlakanipho Xolani Bamali. Nondumiso Nomvula Ado Mbele. Skhulile Khulisiwe Mhlambo. Anele Zanele Mlambo. Pearl Nompumelelo Mngwango. Mtobisi Innocent Mngomezulu. Thabani Nhlakanipho Mthethwa. Londeka Mthembu. Zamathembu Nomzamo Mthembu. Noxolo Londeka Mthethwa. Pinky Myende. Nhloso Blessed Ndlovu. Nosipho Ndlovu. Philani Ndunakazi. Phumelele Nene. Emmanuel Siphamandla Ngcobo. Nokwanda Ngcobo. Siyabonga Ngubane. Sibusiso Siphamandla Ndlozi. Nosiphiwo Nonduna. Sinakho Sizakele Ntombela. Kamkile Njangase. Nondumiso Fisani Ntuli. Silindo Kuhle Ntuli. Nolwazi Shongwe. Lungelo Knowledge Siphethu. Pelelani Sibonelo Sithole. Neliswa Nonkubeko Tembe. Vuyisile Vilakazi. Thobani Victor Zwane.
Londiwe Buthelezi. Thembelihle Silindile Buthelezi. Bongekile Memory Dlamini. Nolwazi Lungile Dlamini. Nompumelelo Dlamini. Andile Nontokozo Sibongile Dube. Bonga konke Nkosiyapha Msizi Dube. Sibonga konke Tomfuthi Dube. Thubelihle Kwandile Fakude. Nomonde Gasa. Lungsani Siyathokoza Giba. Lindokuhle Gumede. Philile Gumede.
Oh, Jesus.
Philiswa Nokwethemba Gumede. Zipho zonke Hlongwane. Dogozo Erika Shophe. Malusi Khanyile. Nonjabulo Nontobeko Khanyile. Awande Khoza. Minenhle Nokukhanya Khumalo. Nondumiso Nomvuselelo Khuzwayo. Thobeka Maphalala. Nonkululeko Masuku. Luyanda Mathonsi. Amanda Felicia Mazeka. Kulani Mazibuko. Snoguhle Angel Mbambo. Tokozo Mbanjwa. Spamandla Thuso Mbatha. Mali Siyabonga Mpele. Nokwezi Vuyelwa Mkwaba. Fikile Nokubonga Mhlongo. Sipho sethu Mkhandabila. Thembelihle Sinenhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Ayanda Prudence Mngoma. Precious Setabile Precious Motsa. Nontuthuko Thandokuhle Mpanza. Siphokazi Ngcebo Mthembu. Thulani Mthembu. Wenzile Tusiwe Nokwethemba Mthembu. Sinenhlanhla Zama Mthethwa. Ayandiswa Nolwazi Precious Ndebele. Thobeka Andiswa Ndlela. Mfundo Sihle Ndlovu. Yoliswa Princess Ndlovu. Spesihle Ngcongo. Hilani Ngema. Amanda Ngobese.
Lisa no usukulinda hata yofika.
Lihle Ngwenya. Sanele Sunboy Kenyama. Sithabiso Komazana. Nonjabulo Sibongile Nkosi. Nzuzo Nxumalo. Siyabonga Nozibusiso Zodumo Nyawose. Nonhle Sethembile Kwabe. Noxolo New Lady Shange. Nosihle Sibiya. Xolile Anele Sikude. Kwanele Olwethu Simelane. Qaphela Sithembelo Mayibongwe Vundla. Nokwanda Nqobile Zaca. Balindile Thembelihle Zikhali. Anele Penelope Zondo. Sabelo Phesi Zulu. Thulisiwe Zulu. Amanda Bongumusa Zuma.
Acting Chancellor, I request you to confer the degree Bachelor of Social Sciences, and International Studies for the candidates as well as these persons in absentia whose names appear in the program.
I confer the degree of Bachelor of Social Sciences on candidates whose names appear on the program.
Nandipha Buthelezi. Thandeka Cele. Spamandla Michael Duze.
Mention this as well.
Sarah Rachel Foley with distinction. Andile Faith Gama. Thabo Khumalo. Sibonga konke. Sibonga konke mndeni Mabaso. Bongeka Magwaza. Nosipho Londeka Majola. Mcebo Sibusiso Manukuza. Nontethelelo Luyanda Mbatha. Nomfundo Hoshia. Nomfundo Hoshia Mbai. Kulani Thankswell Mkwanazi. Sibahle Mpenduluntle Mkwanazi. Lindiwe Nonhlanhla Ngomezulu. Nokukhanya Mthethwa. Londeka Petronella Ndaba. Nokwanda Helen Ndimande. Studuzo Priswell Nkosi. Sylvester Nokolo Khatebe. Mazwi Innocent Shabane. Anele Mbalenhle Sibia. Mbalenhle Zanele Excellence Suduka. Siphesihle Zibane. Nqobile Sandiswa Kholeka Zondi. Luleka Sfanele Zulu. Nondumiso Ayanda Zuma. Zanenjabulo Butobuhle Zungu.
Acting Chancellor, I request you to confer the diploma in media studies to the candidate as well as those persons in absentia whose name appear in the program.
I award the diploma on candidates whose names are on the program.
Thandeka Nobuhle Biela. Oh. Bongumusa Taba. Nonkululeko Tracy Goba. Simpiwe Kumete. Amahle Jigi. Sibonokuhle Siwelile Khoza. Sorry. Amahle sebenzile Mngomezulu. Nokuthula Ndimande. Nqobile Anele Ndlovu. Phephile Philile Thabete. Ngobi Siphelele Madlala. Fisiwe Nobuhle Tombela.
Awulilisela we. Awulilisela mliliseli ma. Awuliliseli. Awulilisela. Awulilisela we. Awulilisela mliliseli ma. Awuliliseli. Awulilisela. Awulilisela we. Shaya. Awulilisela mliliseli ma. Awuliliseli. Awulilisela. Awulilisela we. Hey, master, when again, Nana. Master, when again, Nana. Hey, 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 we baba yitilava. Hey, Sisolanda. We baba yitilava. Sisolanda. We baba yitilava. Hey, yitilava. Baba yitilava. Hey, yitilava. Baba yitilava. Hey, Sisolanda. Hey, mamumto se kaula la makawe. Mamumto se kaula la makawe. Mamumto se kaula la makawe. Oh, mamumto se kaula la makawe. Oh, mamumto se kaula la makawe. Shout! Oh, mamumto se kaula la makawe. 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 Amamumdo se kaula la makawe. Hey mamumdo se kaula la makawe. Hey mamumdo se kaula la makawe. Oh mamumdo se kaula la makawe. Oh mamumdo se kaula la makawe. Hey mamumdo se kaula la makawe. Oh mamumdo se kaula la makawe. Mamumdo se kaula la makawe. Oh mamumdo se kaula la makawe. Mamumdo se kaula la makawe. Hey mamumdo se kaula la makawe. Mamumdo se kaula la makawe. Mamumdo se kaula la makawe. Itele pele, itele pele, oh itele pele, itele pele, oh itele pele, itele pele. Ngidele pele, ngidele pele, ngidele pele, ngidele pele, ngidele pele. Ay vale, vale, como cada va.
Thank you. Our Vice Chancellor prides the University of Zululand with excellence. Every year, she chooses the best 5 candidates in each faculty, and she sponsors them and supports them for their best achievement. Today in the program, we have Ms. Sarah Rachel Foley, who is graduating today with a distinction. The selection was based on all her courses, which she passed by over 75%. And the other candidates, they will be in the other sessions which are yet to come. Ms. Foley, please come forward. Sarah Rachel Foley.
the Acting Chancellor, Professor X Mtose, the Acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Nomlomo, the Chairperson of Council, Ms. Aluza in her absentia, the whole executive management, the President of the Convocation, Mr. Nkwanyana in his absentia, the Dean of Students, Dr. Ngogazi, the Deans of Faculties, the Student Representative Council members present, led by myself and the SG Kulani Mpiliso Kumalo, all university staff members in attendance, parents, guardians, and graduates, all protocol observed. I greet you all. Sanbonan. It is with great pleasure that I stand before you on this day of jubilation. I cannot express enough the feeling of sharing a space and rubbing shoulders with victors. Today, all of us are afforded an opportunity to celebrate our triumph. It is this university management, academic staff, support staff, parents, and guardians and graduates who ensure that we meet here today. We should all rejoice the victory belongs to all of us. Silapha namhlanje sizobungaza sihalalise kungenxa yenu baphathi besikhungo, kungenxa yenu bafundisi, kungenxa yenu bazali nabaqaphi, futhi kungenxa yenu bafundi ma-graduate. Masijabuleni sonke ngokuba sonke sibe neqhaza kule mpumelelo ebungazwa namhlanje. As the SRC, we know almost all predicaments that University of Zululand students face. Being a black student from poor background in these historically disadvantaged institutions is not a smooth pathway for all students. It comes with different hindrances. However, we are here today as proof beyond any reasonable doubt that if we are dedicated to the cause, we can overcome against all odds. The words of former President Thabo Mbeki are much relevant at this point when he said, and I quote, "Those who complete the course will do so only because they do not, as fatigue sets in, convince themselves that the road ahead is too long, the loneliness impossible to bear, and the pride itself is of doubtful value." Close quote. Graduates, you have just been conferred your qualifications. Unizulu is known for producing globally competitive graduates. Go out there, represent as well as you become the University of Zululand Convocation. Wherever you go, ensure that the University of Zululand flag always flies high. Ensure that when you encounter people, especially young ones, outside the premises of this institution, they are encouraged and inspired to join the Unizulu community. As some of you leave to join the labor force, make it a point that you do not forget where you come from, so you know where you're going. Nibazise abanye abantu ikakhulukazi abamnyama ngoba sinandle emnyama iningi lethu alitholanga ithuba elifana naleli lokufunda sigogode. Abanye bayazama abaphumelela kalungi. Ngoba kuyini namhlanje maniphuma nibazise abanye abantu ikakhulukazi abamnyama. Some of you are graduating for postgraduate qualifications, that's honors, masters, and PhDs. As I congratulate you on behalf of the SRC, I would like to challenge you that in addition to intentions, of course, of furthering your studies, that you strive to contribute positively to the body of knowledge, to further join a strategy of decolonizing the education system. May all those who agree with the idea of decolonizing the education system so that it reflects aspirations and experiences of Black people in general and Africans in particular say, forward with the strategy of decolonizing the education system, forward. Forward with the strategy of decolonizing the education system, forward. Our university, in its goals and objectives, has a vision of becoming a node for African thought. All of you who are graduating here today, let me just say, everyone in this house, who's present in this house, I view from where I'm standing as motive forces towards the realization of this university goal. Kusifanele ukuthi sibonga abazali bethu ngokusikhulisa kanzima basifundisa kwaze kwafika la. Abanye namhlanje Kuvuka ithemba lokuthi ikati lizosuka eziko. Abanye abasenabo abazali, kodwa ke ngethemba esinalo nokholo esinakho siyakholela ekuthenini laba khona bayanconcoza futhi bayazigqaja ngani bahle kanje namhlanje laba khona. Makukhanya ke bafundi graduates ze ningabakhohlwa abazali benu. Ningabakhohlwa abazali benu ngoba baba nani sukela ekuzalweni kwenu, babe nethuba lokuchuza noma ukukhetha ukuthi bayanikhulisa noma banilahla, kodwa bakhetha ukuthi benigcine benikhulise banifundisa. Buka nibahle kanjani namhlanje, ningabakhohlwa abazali benu. Bazali, namhlanje lolu suku lolwenu nani, ukujabula nokukikiza nokusina konke kunifanele. Imizamo yenu namhlanje iphenduka impumelelo. Izithombo zenu enazitshala eminyakeni eminingi eyadlula namhlanje zithelile. Iklabishi ebelishebo kini ngalezi ingane zenu namhlanje lizophenduka isaladi makuphuma ilanga. Nobhontshisi lo benudla njalo abanye sebehlekwa omakhelwane. Namhlanje ubhontshisi nowudla mhlanizwe niwukhumbule ngalezi ingane zenu. Nitshale kovundile, siyanibongela. Bafundi, njengomkhandlu omelela abafundi siyazigqaja ngani, nilwe ukulwa okuhle. Buka namhlanje nibahle kanjani. Congratulations, siyanibongela, kuyalebohela, siyavuyisana nani, siyabonga.
I saw some doing this. So that's where I'll start. Acting Chancellor, Professor Mtose, Acting Vice Chancellor, Acting Chancellor, now Acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Nomlomo, the council members in absentia and those present here, the deans of faculties and the dean of students, executive management, all university staff in different categories, invited distinguished guests, I'm referring to our guest speaker, the sponsors, the parents, the guardians, yeah, the list goes on and on. And the acting chancellor said I must not mention some, like husbands and, representatives of the Mkhwanazi Tribal Authority, of the business sector, of the student body, the president and the secretary general, and all the students, current and those that are graduating today, I greet you all. After a long day, when all is said and done by the shouting, I'm aware that I'm the only person that's standing between you and the rest of the celebrations. So listen carefully and be kind with me, otherwise I can keep you here for another hour. But I'm pleased to stand here and express our gratitude as the University of Zululand to all the role players who have contributed to make this session a resounding success. What we experienced here this afternoon is the tail end. It's a culmination of a long and intense process. For some, particularly those that are graduating today, it started a few years back. It is the result of a collective effort. It was like a marriage of sorts, where for it to work, useless is each party without the other. I would like to say thank you to you all, those that play a role to make this a success, and this is not in order of any importance. Our speaker, guest speaker, Ms. Elaine Brass, for the important message, particularly highlighting the fact that graduating is a victory, and it opens up opportunities for you into the future. To the students, this is your day. Just remember that you have actually traveled this far. At some stage, you would fall flat on your face, but you stood up and continue running the race. To the guardians and sponsors and parents, this is also a celebration for you, and we thank you for all those sacrifices that you made, and you can see the results today. To the Unizulu leadership for placing this university on the map, and all staff in different categories. We're talking about the academic staff, the professional support that actually bring all of this together. I cannot forget the service departments, and there are quite a number of them, who actually make this happen, looking at the logistics and the other services that they provide. The physical planning and operations division, looking after the facilities and everything else that makes our stay in this hall comfortable. The medical staff, who sometimes are called upon to make sure that those that are running low blood sugar levels, they resuscitate them. We really thank you for the service that you provide every year. The communication and marketing department, for all the work that they do, the communication, and even making sure that if you are not here inside the hall, you can still participate in the processes. Sterling work in that area. For our safety and security, we would like to thank the Protective Services Department for the staff that they've deployed to make sure that we forget that there may be other nasty incidences, and they protect us and they make sure that we can continue with the business of the day in the comfort of the safety that they provide. How can I not mention the choir? I think we should give them a round of applause. Without fail, and for as long as I've been in this university, they always give us food for the soul. May they continue to do so. We're really grateful for what they do. Lastly, but not least, the flag bearers, who make sure that they usher us into the hall, and they will also be accompanying us on the way out. Acting Chancellor, it's been a long day, and indlela iseyinde yokuya emakhaya. I wish you all well, and thank you so much again for the role that you have played in making this session a success. Thank you.
Honored guests, I hereby declare this graduation session officially closed. On behalf of the congregation, I thank you for your presence in this ceremony. I request everyone to stand.
Singelela Viva